Hi everyone! In today's lesson we're going to be looking at sort 50. We are starting suffixes today. Very exciting. Previously we've been doing prefixes, so now we're going into suffixes. So if you want to get this from your spelling booklet and get ready, we'll get started. Now before we can actually do this sheet, I want to do some review with you of some words that you may have forgotten the meaning of that you need to know for this lesson. So let's take a look. So to do sort 50, using the suffixes y, ly, and ily, we need to review parts of speech. Now, you might remember in the classroom we have some posters about parts of speech around the room. Parts of speech is just another way of saying every word in a sentence has a job. Every part of what you say or what you write, every word, every part has a job to do. And we have names for each of these jobs. So for example, a noun, you'll remember what a noun is, this one here, is a person, place, or thing. So for example, the sun, that is a thing. Rain, fog, snow, cloud. And I'm choosing these words specifically because they're related to our lesson today. These are all things, okay? You are a noun. Your name is a noun. I, Miss Lamb, is a noun. The city of Vancouver, that is a noun. It's a place. So these are all nouns. So you need to remember the meaning of noun before we go into the lesson today. Now let's take a look at our second part of speech, the adjective. An adjective is interesting. It adds description to your writing and what you say because it describes nouns. So instead of just saying the boy is here, you would say the happy boy is here. Now you can visualize the boy. So adjectives describe nouns: happy, rough, smooth, angry. Again, you will see these words in your lesson today, but they are adjectives because they describe nouns, okay? Now the third part of speech you need to be aware of for today's lesson is adverb. An adverb describes either a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Now adverbs are sometimes easy to spot because they end in something very specific. Do you notice what they're all ending in? They're ending in an ly. Now sometimes you will see an ily, like this at the end of a word, because the y at the end of a word changes to I, and then you add ly. Do you remember that previous spelling rule that we've discussed? Awesome. Okay, so let's get started. This is the review of the words you need to know for the next part as we discuss suffixes today. So nouns, person, places, or things. Adjectives describe the nouns, and adverbs describe either a verb, an adjective, or another adverb, keeping in mind that all words have a job to do in everything you say or everything you write. All right, so let's take a look at today's lesson. Now, previously we've been talking about prefixes. Prefixes go at the beginning of a word and they change the meaning of a word. The suffix is the opposite. Suffixes are letters or groups of letters that are added to the end of a word, but they also change the meaning of the words. So here's a sentence that has two words that have suffixes in them. The boy happily played in the chilly lake. All right, there are two words that have suffixes. The first one is the word happily. Now you'll notice that the word had ly added to it. If I took off the ly, what would the root word have been? Well, it would have been happy. You'll notice that the y changed to an I before they added ly. Okay, here's another word. This word had y added at the end. The base word was chill, okay, like something being cool. If you put a y at the end, it's chilly. Chilly means it's kind of cold. So those are two words within the sentence that had suffixes added to the end, happily and chilly. Now let's take a look at what happens when you add a y to the end of a word. Here's what it does. Remember we said that suffixes change the meaning of words? Well, here's what it does. When you add y to the end of a word, a noun turns into an adjective, like magic. So for example, take a look at the word storm. The storm is outside my window. Now that's a noun in the sentence. If I put a y at the end of the word storm, it becomes stormy. I might say, the stormy day is making me stay inside. Now, stormy is describing the noun day. All right? Wind turns into windy. Wind as a noun would be used like this. The wind is blowing outside. It's a noun. It's something. If I add a Y to the end of wind, it becomes windy. I might say, the windy day causes me to stay inside. I can use the same sentence. All right, so everybody, when you put Y at the end of a word, it turns a noun into an adjective, and that's the important thing to remember. Now here's the other rule. When you add ly, or sometimes you're adding ily to the end of a word, here's what happens. An adjective turns into an adverb. Now remember, an adjective is a describing word, describes a noun. So slow. The slow turtle walked across the street. I've used it as an adjective. The word slow describes turtle. If I add an ly to the end of it, now it becomes the word slowly. How would I use that in a sentence? I could say the turtle walked slowly across the street. Now the word slowly is describing walked, which is a verb. And we know that adverbs can describe verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. Let's look at the word happy. Okay, so happy in this case is an adjective. If I add ly to the end, or ily, it becomes an adverb. Okay, the happy girl played in her backyard. Okay, there's a sentence. If I add ly to the end of it, you notice that my y turned to I, and then I added ly. Now I would use it like this. The girl played happily in her backyard. Happily is now describing the word played, which is a verb. All right, so it becomes an adverb. All right, everybody. So those are the rules with suffixes in this case, with adding y or adding ly or ily. All right. Now we can take a look at our words, and we're going to do this fairly quickly so that you can get started. Okay, let's take a look at our first one when we add y. Okay, can you find a word in our list that added y to the end of the word? Did you see sunny? Do you see another one? Did you see snowy? Maybe we'll find one more. Did you see stormy? Let's just go down the list this way. There are more, but I'm going to stop there. Do you notice when you add y to the end of the word, usually there's just a base word that you recognize. Storm, snow. Snow. This one is sun, but the n was doubled before they added the y. Okay? It's a consonant, vowel, consonant word. All right, so that's adding y, and when we add y to the end of the word, it turned the word sun, which is a thing, into sunny, which is an adjective. Okay? It turned the word snow, which was a noun, into an adjective, snowy. It turned the noun storm into the adjective stormy. So that's the purpose of adding the suffix y. Now, ly and ily, these are used in the same way, turns an adjective into an adverb. Let's take a look at some ly words. Can you find an ly word? Well, there's the first one, slowly. Can you find another one? Loudly. I know you have your own words. I'm just going down my list here. How about roughly? There's 3. There are more. You will find them. It took a adjective, slow, and turned it into the adverb, slowly. It took the adjective, loud, and turned it into the adverb, loudly. It took the adjective, rough, and turned it into the adverb, roughly. Okay? ily does the same thing. Let's get purple for that one. Okay? It's just that these are words. I want you to see actually what happens. Happily, ily. Angrily, ily. Do you see another one? How about lazily? There are, of course, more, but we'll stop there. Okay, in all of these words, an adjective was turned into an adverb. The adjective happy, the adjective angry, and the adjective lazy all turned into adverbs. Okay, words that can describe verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. All right. Now, what do you notice about all these words? Why is there an I here? Okay, do you remember what I was saying earlier? Well, it's because these words, as a base word, have a Y at the end. And when we add the ending ly, let's See? When we add the ending ly, the y simply turns to an I, and then it's ly. So you're losing the y and you're adding ily. All right? But the purpose of ly and ily are the same. When you add these suffixes to the end of an adjective, it turns them into adverbs. All right? Okay, everybody, that's your lesson for today. I want you to cut out the 3 headings, sort all the words under the 3 headings, being very careful to look for the ly and ily. They are different spellings. And take a picture and post to Seesaw, and then I want you to write 3 sentences using 2 words in each sentence. Okay, everybody, bye for now.